Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. So this week is it's flown by at this point. I'm on vacation and this week had skates on. It's like, Brittany, go back to work. We want you stressed. We want you at work. I don't know. But anyway, so before we get started today, let's go over the market overview before we get started with trading. So it's right now 7:41. I've been at my computer since about 7:30. That's what I like to do. It kind of helps me to settle, sit, watch, kind of see what's already happening. And again, I don't start trading until about 8:45. So, and that's currently, I may be, like I said, previous video, I may start trading earlier. So in the previous session, due to just mental relaxation prior to going to the 9 to 5, not having that feeling of rush or distraction. That's what's making me think I may change my trading times. But let's look at the news first. So we don't have any news. However, if you do want to know where and what to look at to kind of gauge what could potentially drive the market or, affect the market in any way, you can go to Forex Factory. That's like a one-stop shop of meetings that are being had. So the federal meetings, like different news that may impact the stock that you're trading. Specifically for crude oil, our news comes on a Wednesday most of the time. I think it changed one time, but that's when our news normally comes, and we don't have anything like really impacting either way today. All right, so let's start with our top-down analysis for the day. Oh, yeah. So while we're pulling up the monthly, so I have a couple of new prop firms. So I went ahead and added about 3 more Apex. I'm going to add one more Apex because yesterday I officially blew my 25K PA account. That thing was in so much drawdown. I was so sick about that one. When I was losing back to back, I had only took out, I think like a little bit, like 500, but I had still about 1,200 real dollars in that PA account, but I was losing back to back to back. So it took me all the way into drawdown. And then I did start trying to trade micros with it. But again, I just started to not really care, I would say, almost in a sense, because those moves weren't great. And I just was like jumping into trades just after hours, just literally YOLO in that account. But yeah, I did officially blow the 25K. That was my last 25K account that I had with Apex, but I definitely did get my return from that account. So I have received multiple payouts on that 25K account that even though I did blow it, it still produced a pretty nice profit for me over the past like 6 months. So no, I had that since March. Yeah, so I've been getting my payouts pretty consistently on that one. And my mindset honestly was to switch to the 50K. So 50Ks work pretty good for me as far as the amount of contracts, the drawdown. Those are the best ones for me and how I trade and what I want to risk. So all is well with that. But I did also purchase my funded futures as well as a take profit due to their payout system. Now Apex has made a lot of changes, so it may not be that much of a difference anymore as far as these prop firms, like their advantages over Apex. However, I did want to just diversify my prop firm portfolio anyway. The goal is to have, and excuse my voice, it's so early, I haven't even talked yet, but the goal is to have max allocation in prop firm space. So just testing out other reputable prop firms and maxing out. The goal is to max out, so it's less risk, obviously, using prop firms. And to me, just having rules as well is something that helps me thrive in a environment where there isn't any rules, So it definitely is something that helps me mentally with trading, is using prop firms right now. Eventually I am going to open up just my own live account and then work on that one. That one may be opened up pretty soon too with these newer accounts. But yeah, so let's go through our top-down analysis. Starting with the monthly. All right, so we like to look at just the overall trend to kind of get a view of what's happening in its entirety. As we see, we have lower highs, but we are not creating lower lows. So this is telling us that our monthly is also in some sort of consolidation. As we see, it went up, boom, went up, drop, it went up here, drop, but we don't have any. I like to see like the red candle hit the trend line and start to come down, but we did have a very long wick on this monthly. So right now we still got an inside bar on our demand zone, our daily demand zone. Demand because look, it popped multiple times from here, aka support. It's showing support, it's not going past it. So it's an inside bar on that level. So I think we still got a little bit more room to go as we close out October. But let's move on down to our weekly. Like I said, even on the weekly, we got our, well, this is kind of in between levels. When we really look at here, like this is something that happened on the 4 hour, but over here is where the Big Daddy move happened. So honestly, this kind of looks like an in-between level for me on the weekly. However, it is creating an inside bar and it has closed over this level here, where again, if we look over to our left, we see where we had a significant pop on that level as well. So we are currently over that level still. Yeah, inside bar pop. Looks like we dropped, tried to come down, but we didn't even come down past the previous candles or close. And now we have a new inside bar within that level of support that had been created on the weekly. So it's very possible that we may pop next week. We may continue to try to make a move up to potentially either retest the area that it broke through with this much volume, or continue to move up and retest this trend line here. So let's see. Now let's move down to our daily. So daily, overall, we can see the overall sentiment still is what we saw in the monthly, higher, lower highs, but these lows aren't getting really lower. But as we kind of zoom in on our current daily, like yesterday, bias was definitely sells due to head and shoulder. So we got the shoulder here, the head here, and the shoulder here. It's considered a shoulder because it's showing resistance at the same area that it had resistance to the left. So right now on the daily, currently at 7:40 a.m., it looks like we came down right here, had an inside bar, we popped, and we did react to the resistance level here, and we dropped some. However, with the drop, we maintained this monthly level. We maintained the level that the previous candle had closed above. So no candle closed above this last swing high. So right here, it shows that there is some level of support. And now what we have is almost an engulfing daily candle over yesterday's candle currently. And again, we still are closing above the previous day's low. So no candle has closed yet. So what this can tell us today is that there is a bias of right now, currently, of what we're looking at, there's a bias of upside where it's going to at least try to maybe reach again the previous candle's high. I'm just going to try to get there. And then if we close above the 71.64, then we're definitely going to try to continue. So we break and close, break and hold. So we go up, come back down and hold it. We're going to try to continue that move up even higher. And again, that would confirm my bias that we still need to head all the way up here to just kind of test that trend that's been showing at least. So today, currently, we are holding those previous day lows, haven't closed below it. Literally 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4 daily candles have not closed below this monthly level of 69.88. I mean, 4 daily candles have not closed below this level of 69.88. And today we now have an engulfing candle. So let's now look at the 4 hour. All right, so as we look at the 4 hour, this level here, there was significant pop from it, right? So we see boom, high break, we see a hold, and we see a pop. This level here is definitely showing a reaction. So a reaction that we would expect or anticipate, being that there was such a big reaction from this level previously. And that's what's happening. It broke the neckline yesterday on the 4 hour. And with that, it was like, okay, we break and hold below this neckline, we're going to continue to drop. In the after hours or the pre-market, it did try to retest it, and it dropped just a little bit more, but then it reheld that level of 69.88. And currently, we now in the current pre-market, we have an engulfing 4 hour candle from a level that we popped from significantly, and we reclaimed the neckline. So today, so far, my bias would be to the upside. An area where we could have confirmed a further downside would have been right here. Boom, we came back up, we rejected, but then we dropped below this area of support of 69.88, but it is still holding that level. So now that it's holding this level, and now that it broke my level of interest, which is that 70.56 level, it's breaking that. What I want to do is see that 70.56 level hold, and then where it looks like it's holding, right? Like we've already blasted through it. My next level of entry for calls, forced buys is going to be over this 71.64. So we break and hold over 71.64. I'm going to get into buys, and we're going to take it up a little bit further. But let's now look down on that 1 hour. So yesterday I kept saying, oh man, if we break this neckline and we reject this 70.64, we're getting in sales, and it just broke it. It really didn't come back up to retest it. It did that within the pre-market after hours. However, we created another double bottom, and then right above that previous day low, and we just continued to pop. So it looks like we're having the opposite effect today. Like we broke the 70.56 level. However, we haven't came back down to just retest it. So then we can get for me, a clear move back up to the upside. So now what I have to wait for is I have to let this thing run. It's running. Oh, it did retest on the 15. Exactly what I like to see. So this would have been definitely an area that would have allowed me to get in if I traded during this time. But this happened at 5:30 a.m. My gosh. All right. So now what we want to see at this point is it looks like it's going to try to reach here and create like another double top. So 71.49. Yeah, it looks like it's going to try to reach 71.49, like within this area. So once it reaches here and we begin to show some sort of support. So, okay, let's say we come here, we do a rejection. Potentially can happen, like a rejection in that area. Let's see, what would we want to see? Because it's on an uptrend. It is on an uptrend. So we do a rejection here. Let's see. If we could reject all the way back down here, that would be beautiful. I would love that. Or if we showed some support right here at 71. You know what, nope, we're going to stick to my plan. 71.64, I already have that written down. We're going to stick to my plan of 71.64. But yeah, we are moving and grooving right now. If we break and hold, this point I will need to see 71.64 hold. But yeah, so right now we're moving and grooving. Oh man. So once the New York session starts, what can end up happening is we do a complete retest, because usually whatever's happening within this pre-market, it is a reversal in the New York session. Sometimes it's a continuation, but a lot of times I've noticed that there would be a reversal. So that means that if we're going all the way up within the pre-market, so before the NY session, then potentially we can go back down. This is definitely an area of interest here. This is a key level for me, it's looking like, because we dropped significantly from this area. So I would love to see if we have some sort of reaction there as well. Now, we have our entries. We have our, so my entry to the upside is still going to be a break and hold of 71.64. However, if I see a rejection, like any sort of rejection at 72.30, that's something that I'm going to pay attention to as well, because that's creating like a double top. We're just gonna mark these levels really quick, just to kind of, all right, just so I can kind of get my visual on it. All right, so let's get my copy trader up. So I use Replicanto. We're gonna do CL. Leader count is going to be 43. Have I told y'all I got a new PC? I feel like I say that every day now, but with that, it makes me so much more confident in my copy trader and entering and exiting my trades, that they're getting the correct fills. And yeah, it makes me more confident to be able to place these trades with the copy trader, because I was previously using Apex's copy trader on my MacBook, and it was just it was a nightmare. It was very slow, and it's not necessarily, I don't even know if it was truly just the copy trader. I think it was me using my MacBook Pro with all these systems on it, like it was slowing it down. So I don't truly believe it was the MacBook, I mean the copy trader itself, but honestly the computer, the MacBook Pro, I just had a lot of programs on it, running Windows, just a lot of things on it, OBS, and it's not one of the bigger MacBooks with like all the RAM and power. So all right, so we have a break of the 71 level. Now let's see what's going to happen. It's 9:52 a.m. so it's a new hour approaching, but we have been showing some serious weakness at this level. So I want to just see it again reject 71 to make its move down, but overall we have been showing weakness in this very strong area of resistance. You see how far we wicked on the 4 hour here, and then as well as the 1 hour. It was some serious rejection. So let's see. Because again, what we'll end up doing if we can hold below is we would end up trying to head to 70.56, which is again my level of interest. and that is due to it being the last level of major support, resistance turned into support. Okay, we got another candle breaking below. Let's see if we can try to come up to do any sort of retest before we continue that move back down. We have a new hour approaching. So we're already engulfing that. Well, we were engulfing the previous candle's wick. We're at a resistance level. We broke a major area of resistance, or area of resistance we had yesterday. So it will be nice to see if we can retest it. But we're not going to just hop into sales right now. We need to see confirmation of what we like to see. And with the new hour approaching, it is definitely, you want to be mindful, unless that thing is coming with some crazy volume, but still, you want to do what's right for you. And when that new hour switches, sometimes it'll do like a retracement before it continues its move. So yeah, we're currently about 4 minutes out. Oh goodness. Don't make your move all the way down without me. Not today. Don't do it today. Be the slowest couple of minutes when that hour about to change. It looks like we are about to blow. Right now we're closing above this last low. So let's see if we can get like a little retest of 71 and then drop
Order failed.
Oh, looks like we lost this one. For tracing, I have 15-point stop loss, so it's right at 70.99. Stop build.
Stop build.
What's going on? All right, so we're 240 for the day, red. Not feeling good. Not feeling good at all. Not feeling good, y'all. I'm gonna be honest.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I'm feeling just upset right now. There was a break, and the retest that I was looking at was from a candle that still was red. So again, my patience is not where it needs to be still. The one thing that has worked for me is my patience, and I don't know what's going on with it recently. I literally got caught in a bear trap, and I'm upset about that. I fell for what probably 95% of traders, new traders, just fell for. when all I had to do is one, wait. Okay, it broke. Wait for the retest. A clear retest, not red and it wicked up and then wicked down. Wait for the green candles to try to come up and reject it. That's all I had to do. But instead, call myself oh man. I don't know, y'all. That don't look good. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like real feelings like this. It's not just the losing, it's the things that are attached to being a successful profitable trader that when you do lose, it can impact you in a big way. So it's easier said, to say just probabilities, right? Accept the losses, keep it moving. But when you overly are attaching the outcome to something, to this future life you have, it can cause you to fumble a lot more, because when you begin to attach that future to what you're doing now and then you lose, it intensifies the feelings of the loss that you really shouldn't be having, right? Like you should be looking at it as it's a probability game. But yeah, that just really bothered me. I mean, I just feel like I just got duped like a beginner, don't know what I'm doing trader, and that's what bothers me the most. Like I got caught up with everyone else when I know better. So 240 times how many accounts? 11 accounts. That's $2,640 negative. Yes, my bias is still up, right? But what I was looking for to get in on sales was the rejection of that level, and that's what I thought I saw. Like because this was a strong level of rejection, so if I saw a break in rejection of this level, then that was letting me know that we were going down to 70.56. However, what I did start to see is one, we weren't closing below this candle, and then two, I didn't wait for the green candles to come back up and retest, and that's where I've seen the most success. And for some reason, I am not waiting for that.